Now we're gonna get to the big story.
Okay, wow. This is
and even our last story, but it's the biggest story going on in the media, and it's a level 5.
Oh yeah,
this is definitely is what you call level 5, folks.
Okay,
the Boston Marathon bombing.
That is so horrifying. You know, I'm from Boston.
Yeah, that's right, Essence.
I'm from Boston.
I thought you was from Alabama.
Yeah, last time
you were born.
I was born in Boston.
I don't hear no Boston accent.
Right.
Man, I was born in Boston. You saw my car. Get your car keys. And go around the corner.
Okay. Right. Okay. So go ahead.
Yeah. But I was born in Boston, and that street, Boston, man, that's like Michigan Avenue.
You still got family there?
I still got family there.
Right.
I was kind of wigging out myself, you know, and I get my text messages and Facebook messages that my cousins heard a blast, but they won't let them out of the buildings. You know, it's where she was working.
Oh, she was that
serious.
Wow.
Yeah, and so of course I'm watching the news, and I'm watching everything that's going on. I'm worried.
Yeah.
But LA News, Lord, why they gonna turn around and make it a LA story?
They did.
Because they do that all the time. You know why? Because they know people in LA don't give a damn. So they got connected. They got connected. Okay. They'll be like, man, I ain't worried about. I'm going to the beach.
I'm watching the news and I'm having to call people back. He's like, look, what's really going on? Because I really don't care if they increase the presence at a Dodgers game. I'm trying to figure out what just happened.
Right.
But the first I saw a clip, or they showed a line, and this was before they had any suspects, or they didn't even want to call it terrorism. You know, the authorities, whenever the authorities talked, they didn't want to call it terrorism, but the news was.
Yeah.
They had this line of Middle Eastern men and Indian men, and all of them had these black backpacks, and they made it look like they were checking backpacks, but everybody in this line, it was 50 men, and all of them was Indian or Middle Eastern, dark-skinned Middle Indians. And they had these backpacks, and they smiling. You know, good and well, that clip was like they was going to a game or something like that, and they just stuck it in there.
Wait, I never saw that clip.
You didn't see it?
It looked like stock footage.
Yeah. But they stuck it in there like this was part of the investigation. We're checking all suspicious backpacks. And,
you know, and that sends a message, that indirect message of these people are not patriotic.
Right. I hate that.
You know, and that happened on the Patriot Day in Boston. You know, Boston known for being a racist city. I mean, even Bill Russell said, I would rather be in jail in Sacramento than the mayor of Boston.
Well, me and Nerdy was sitting down. We was watching this when it happened, because we kind of, you know, the news jumped right on TV because it's level 5. And the first thing they talked about, before all this died down, they said, as a black man in the hood, you know, a black, dark colored man in a hood walking down the street or whatever with the black pack. So the first thing I'm thinking of, as soon as I heard that, because this is the first time they let us create bombs. Before we was just drug dealers and cooking up coke. Now we making bombs, cooking bombs or whatever.
That's what they're gonna be doing.
It's still a low tech bomb. It was a pressure cooker with some nails inside.
Right. So that had to be a black bomb. But anyway, I started thinking the power structure. This is just me thinking. Was trying to put a face on terrorism in terms of America.
Oh, that's coming.
Yeah.
Well, they wanted it to be a black face.
Is terrorism negative?
Yeah.
Then
do they always make something negative black?
But then they leaped from drug dealing to bomb building, and that's kind of threw me off a little bit, because I'm wondering
when you say they leap from drug dealing,
you know, they always classify as drug dealers.
They paint almost everything negative,
right?
Black, not just drug dealing, abusing your woman.
Yeah,
Ike Turner.
Yeah,
fighting dogs. When you think
Michael
of fighting,
Vick.
See, they paint
child molestation.
Black. Okay, Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
he ain't do it.
Date rape. Mike Tyson.
Oh, that's right. Date rape.
I mean, we can go on forever.
And doing that.
Ricky Ross.
Right.
Oh goodness. You know, and what you're saying make a lot of sense. That blackface, that image that they put on their front, you know, they put that out their front street. People who don't live in Boston, you know, that's what they see. However, where did they go looking for clues? They went searching in Revere. Revere is
That's what Paul Revere was.
I don't know if Paul Revere was actually that. It is named after him.
Wow.
But that is the most redneck Massachusetts place ever.
Okay.
Y'all, my mom as a little kid was about the 4th, 5th black person to integrate a school in the South in Alabama. It wasn't until she got married and moved to Boston that she was ever called a nigger, and it happened right there in Revere. They looking for her and my dad looking for a doctor's office to go to. So, they kind of driving slow looking for the address, and white men start coming out of houses and buildings.
You sure
and
it wasn't Trailer Park? Go ahead.
It might as well have been.
Yeah.
They came out of the house and started banging on the car, calling them niggers, telling they better not stop it. They didn't
Man, that
stop.
sounds like your boy from Boston that's a big movie star right now, Mark Wahlberg. He's racist.
I didn't know that.
He might
got
have
in trouble for it. He from Boston. He's been arrested for being a racist.
When he's a
Nobody
youth.
even knows. When he was young, when he was a minor.
Okay.
He might have been one of
But
them.
no one know that. He might have been one. His daddy might have been one calling.
His daddy out there calling my mama names.
And they saying it's a domestic, it could be domestic, right? And I'm sitting there going, I'm getting tired of these terms. Okay, y'all know I said something, about the mafia being used. If a white man sell drugs and kill people, it's called a mafia. A black man sells drugs and kill people, it's called a gang. Okay? Here's another one I'm getting tired of right now. And I want the media to stop using this term. Stop calling people white supremacists. Ain't nothing superior about y'all.
Man.
The hell wrong with you?
Right.
Nothing. You ain't no better than nobody just because of your skin color, you dumb fucks. The hell wrong with y'all? I mean, because every time you would think the media would know better to use these terms. And I seen a police officer, he was being interviewed because remember those DAs got killed in Texas. I mean to get off the subject.
Okay.
Whatever, right?
Okay.
And they said maybe a white supremacist group.
Oh, yeah.
And then the police officer said, we don't call them that. We call them, they just a gang.
Oh.
And you would think the media would know that.
Right.
So back to
That
Boston,
is what they should call
be
it.
saying it could be white supremacy. Stop saying that.
They said that already with the Boston one, right?
Well, because they trying to figure it out if it's domestic.
Okay.
And, those militias and all
And
that.
it does sound a lot like the I'm not gonna say white supremacists now that you done put it on there.
Say a gang. You call it a white gang.
I was gonna say white idiots, but same difference.
That'll work. That'll work.
That's
work?
even better.
Like the white idiots in Spokane that set the bombs off out on the MLK parade back in, what was that, 2010, 2011?
Yeah, I remember that.
It was the same MO. It was in the black backpack with the shrapnel.
Oh, okay.
It was the exact same MO. Why in the world is anybody looking any other way?
It was the same.
It was.
And you know what's getting me is I always had a question. Now, y'all tell me how y'all feel about this.
Okay.
I always wonder why they never showed that black governor. I mean, this is only the second black governor in the history of our country.
Right.
Well, elected. There's been two others, but they just filled in. And I always wonder, because he's been governor before Obama became the president.
Oh, yeah.
They never made that big. And so I used to say, man, he must speak well. He must come from a good family.
That dude was awesome.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because this is the only second governor, black governor in the history of our country, and this happened in 2007. That would have been a big story.
It should have been.
But they never mentioned this. This is the first time he's getting
any airtime.
It had to be a tragedy for these people to give black people a positive black person tragedy.
He spoke at the national convention when Obama was running.
Right.
But except with that.
But after that, the news people didn't show his clips or anything.
They downplayed.
Yeah,
they kill Patrick. That's his name, ain't it? Yeah.
Now, have y'all been seeing any black victims?
Not a one.
Because the victims, they say it's been three. Three was killed.
Right.
One age. They just started showing the Asian lady.
Yeah.
They just started saying, they were saying her parents didn't want her name to be used.
Oh, okay.
But they show us the little pretty white face.
Oh, yeah, with his name sign and all that.
The little white boy that interviewed his daddy.
With the teeth missing.
Big teeth.
Yeah, big teeth, that's right.
Boy.
And I want y'all to understand this. I know a lot of you guys out there go like, well, why you got to make this a race issue? We don't make it a race issue. Why don't you ask that question to the media? Because we initially started this organization. I mean, it started, but what motivated us the most was the 9/11. And the reason why is because over 600 black people was killed during 9/11.
Man, 600.
Thousands was injured. Thousands suffered from all that dust that's in their lungs and stuff to this day.
To this day.
To this day.
Cancer and
how many stories did you see of black victims?
One, and she was covered in ash.
Oh, you saw one?
Oh, you talking about running down the street.
Right.
I'm talking about afterwards when they would put them in them panels and stuff and set them up there.
Set them up.
Or do specials on the victims and the suffering.
It's like if there were black victims, it's not really a tragedy. It's not a tragedy unless it's white victims. Here you got this. I hadn't seen any black victims here. But like I said, my family was there. Was there. at the bomb site. You didn't see none of that. They showed the same footage over and over again.
And you're right about that. And they can't. And one thing they can't do, because when I think about what we're talking about, the deaths and everything, the 19, and I know this bringing something in, but the 19 million Native Americans, you know, when they committed genocide on them, you know, they can't bring that in, but I was just thinking history, Boston, the revolution, and then I started thinking about how, you know, Boston and America.
Man, America only celebrates the white victims.
Thank you. There you go. That's the point I'm trying to make.
What anniversaries do you have? You have 9/11, Columbine. Pretty soon there's going to be a Sandy Hook.
Yeah.
Sandy.
Man, we don't hear nothing about Katrina anymore.
Sure don't.
Ain't no Katrina anniversary.
And have you been down there? New Orleans still jacked up.
Oh, man. It's still messed up.
This almost 10 years
but
later.
But they want to call us for bringing up race.
Yeah.
Our job is to analyze the media and give you our perspective of the media. We not. It's at a point now that when I see a little white girl who was kidnapped and murdered, you know, that should be a sad story to me.
Yeah.
But how can that be a sad story to me when I know if my niece is kidnapped, your granddaughter is kidnapped, your nephew is kidnapped, nobody gonna say shit.
Nobody says anything.
How can I have any sympathy?
Yeah.
Okay, so white people, don't come in here talking that jack, sending those emails you be sending. Okay.
And don't come up pushing up the stereotype like, oh, black folks was sitting at home on their couch eating bonbons or something, watching the marathon.
Right.
It's black marathon runners.
Oh, yeah, you know some got hurt.
Well, first of all, the African won it, so that started you off.
You know the
black.
Kenyans is in there.
Man, it's 100 of them running behind them.
100 miles of running.
In today's news, 4 fugitives on the run. FBI sources tell us that the 4 are headed 100 miles to their home.
You don't think some of them got hit by that bomb?
Right. And Essence was telling me, because she from Boston, once again, she said black people do it like symbolically. They just run just for, might be pushing a wheelchair or, you know, just to be in the race, just to go home that night.
Because it's so major.
Right. Just to go home that night and sit on the corner and drink wine and say, I was at the Boston Marathon.
Yeah.
You know, that's how we do in the hood. Because I go down to Chicago, when I'm in Chicago, I go on Michigan Avenue and I watch all the parades. Right. Whatever, even that Irish thing when they do the green stuff and they dye the fountain at Grant Park green. Right. I'm right there celebrating with those people.
Right. So if a bomb went off there, but we wouldn't know you was there
because I'd be on disappear through the media.
You're too dark to know about.
Maybe it's because I'm Irish.
You know?
That's amazing.
It's like what my man who's from Boston, Patrice O'Neal say. He said, I'm from Boston. I got a PhD in white people.
You ain't lying because you right there in amongst them.
He said, I got a PhD in white people.
Man, that's some good stuff right there.
You know what? You just made me think about that. If that was true, that it wasn't hardly any black people down there, but your first suspect going to be a black man, would he not have stood out like a flying buttermilk?
Man.
Okay.
That's why we here.
And so let me say this before we go. I'm going to play this clip, right?
Yeah.
And it don't have anything to do with the topic, but it's about America.
Okay, that's good. Yeah.
Because that's how we start off the show. I believe in America. Because all of us, we believe in it.
Well,
we want America to be right.
Right.
But you can't be a patriotic person if you hate another American. You just can't.
You can't.
It don't make no sense.
Right.
So this is really the truth about America right here. I want y'all to listen to this.
Okay.
We're one people. It's a myth created by Thomas Jefferson.
Oh, now you never go with Jefferson, huh?
My friend, Jefferson's an American saint because he wrote the words, all men are created equal. Words he clearly didn't believe since he allowed his own children to live in slavery. He was a rich wine snob who was sick of paying taxes to the Brits. So yeah, he wrote some lovely words and aroused the rabble, and they went out and died for those words. While he sat back and drank his wine and fucked his slave girl. This guy wants to tell me we're living in a community. Don't make me laugh. I'm living in America, and in America, you're on your own. America's not a country. It's just a business. Now fucking pay me.
Wow.
It's just a business.
I like that, man.
It's just a business.
And that goes to my point when I think about how they deny the spiritual and moral effects on our character from slavery and racism. See, they deny that all the time. That speaks to that right there.
Yeah.
That's amazing,
especially with, I'm in a classroom.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, I've had white associates and white coworkers say, why
you
do
used to
black
live
people,
with white people.
Yeah, they would say, why do black people feel the way they do? And so I would tell them, I say, imagine this. You wake up in the morning, you go to school. For the first 6 hours of that day, You're being told your ancestors was beaten, hung from a tree.
Thank you.